What is going on YouTube? Yo soy Arms. I'm back with another YouTube video. Man, I just finished a work day. I think it was around 12, 13 hours today. But hey, man, you gotta do what you gotta do. But in terms of that, still wanted to make this video. I still want to, try to be as consistent as possible with these videos. Um, but did catch a winning trade today. We're gonna go over why I like true manipulation. True manipulation has been an absolute game changer. I even posted this on my Twitter, and it's just like SMT and manipulation, higher time frame structure, and then freedom. Right, that's kind of what I've been preaching. Hey, it's my birthday on Sunday too, and NQ has been treating me nicely. Nice little green streak going on. Hopefully, we can end the week off nice. But let's jump into today's session. Just starting off on, just not really much going, right? We're just overnight session kind of consolidated its way up. Um, no actual clear, right? We didn't take any structure here. Not really much going on. Let's go ahead and look at the 4 hour. 4 hour, no sweep really of any like engineered highs, right? We didn't sweep this up over here. I guess would have been nice. It would have been better, right? It would have been more ideal for us to come, just sweep this and then continue to go lower. But that didn't happen. But I mean, there still was a trade here on the 5 minute. So we actually have an SMT here with ES, as you can see. ES actually did the manipulation for us, right? I don't think this is inside a higher time frame gap. Ooh, maybe it might be for ES. Let me go ahead and show you guys. This is that gap. Not the prettiest, but still manipulation in that gap. Yeah, so let's go ahead and look at the 5 minute, how this looks. So here's that true manipulation happening on the 5 minute. Um, Now, again, this is why I like true manipulation. And you could kind of just put both indices hand to hand, right? So at this point, since ES did that true manipulation for us, um, NQ is going to give us that SMT that we need, right? So unfortunately, SMT here, but no actual higher time frame PD array that is being tapped into. But still, O5 model here is still being played out. After that true manipulation happens on ES and creates that SMT here, we slowly start to see that displacement. And again, after that true manipulation happens, we get that revisit back into this 5 minute gap. You could have taken this here, right? You could have taken something like this and then, stop loss around the true manipulation. And then you have a bunch of resting liquidity resting down over here that could have been your draws. If you're for short biases, of course, right? Going into the 1 minute, let's go ahead and see if we can find any 1 minute entries into here. Ooh, this is just really chop on the 1 minute. Not really looking the best. In terms of this high, I guess your 1 minute change in the state would be right here. On the 1 minute, does not look the prettiest, but I mean, looking at the 5 minute, you do have a O5 model here being played out. And again, this is really just why I like true manipulation. Um, so this happens, and then I didn't trade in the morning. I didn't even wake up in the morning. Um, we got this 15-minute continuation here, this revisit. Go ahead, looking at the 1 minute, see what we get inside of this 15. And it's just straight chop here. This is absolutely just chop. Um, wouldn't be surprised if someone tried to, going long here. But again, after that immediate sell off, like we just have a bunch of resting liquidity down over here as well that we actually just taken off. So in order for me to actually take some longs here, I would actually need to see at least some good structure. And by structure, I mean just overall price points, right? We need, in order for you to take a trade, you need to have some sort of, good break even spot. You need to have some sort of good RR, etc., etc. So in order for me to actually take a long here, I would need to see some sort of good strong displacement after this first high being made. I would need to see good displacement through here, and then creating potentially a 5 minute fair value gap, retrace back into it maybe, and then continue to go higher. That would give me the confirmation that we might want to ignore. Oops. That might give me the confirmation that we might want to ignore this 15-minute fair value gap and potentially continue to go higher after taking this out. But for the most part, until I see actual real structure anywhere, I mean, look at the structure on the 5 minute. This is just straight chop, nothing really happening. The 1 minute is telling you the exact same thing. Let me go ahead and put this in replay mode. Start new, just so I don't have to keep dragging. So no actual real structure here happening. So looking for longs here doesn't really happen. But for the most part, I mean, you do get that, again, that true manipulation here inside of this 15-minute fair value gap. Let me go ahead and mark this. Here's that true manipulation. Is there an SMT with this? No, there is not. ES took it out as well. So you get that true manipulation. And I guess, honestly, you could have taken a trade off of this change in the state after we put in this recent high. Here is your change in the state after that true manipulation. Again, just straight sauce, man. After true manipulation, after tapping into it, after confirming that, we didn't want to displace through this high in order for us to maybe retrace deeper into the premium sequence, or just completely invalidate this 15-minute. So we have this change in the state after the true manipulation. You could have potentially entered around this on the 1 minute, and again, you have good structure to the downside, right? You don't have good structure to the upside. Here you have good structure to the downside. Let me go ahead and make this white. So this is, this would have been a decent trade, right? And then this pretty much ends up just absolutely ripping, right? This ends up just absolutely ripping. Now, in order for the trade that I ended up taking, since I woke up so late, I woke up late, kind of just letting price do its thing. Didn't want to trade this, right? I didn't want to catch longs anywhere again if there's no structure. So kind of was just watching, letting price do its thing. We actually ended up forming this higher time frame PD array here. I believe this is like a 15-minute or like a 1 hour. So we formed that. But while we're forming this, I have noticed where ES was at this point, right? Let me go ahead and look at the higher time frame for ES. And then for NQ, is it the 1 hour? Right, yeah. So NQ had this little engineered low sitting, which is pretty much this yellow line here, but I'll go ahead and make this white for you guys. Inside of this, 1 hour for value gap. Going into the 15-minute, this is that low on the 15-minute. It would be this. So when I was originally taking this trade, I was looking at where ES was, and ES looked insanely close to the draw of liquidity, basically on both NQ that I was eyeing. At this point, after this true manipulation happened, after we put in that SMT with ES, I was like, okay, well, ES is really close. We didn't get any strong displacement. We have true manipulation happen here. We have an SMT. We're tapping into a higher time frame. And again, after true manipulation happens, I like to drop into the lower time frame to see if I could find a better entry. We do have this 5-minute change in the state, pretty much where I entered. Just a quick little scalp, literally nothing crazy. Again, this was my TP, just 1-to-1. Initially, I guess my draw ultimately was this low. And we actually do end up, trading into it. But again, I just wanted to catch my piece of the pie. It's very late into the session. It's already 10 a.m. I usually don't trade New York lunchtime. But again, just wanted to catch my piece of the pie. This trade made sense to me. I was, I liked the draw of liquidity. I liked how ES was, trading towards it, because I mean, look at this. When I had entered the trade, ES was kind of already going down, and you might be like, "Oh, that's an SMT." Well, I like the fact that I see that true manipulation happen here. We don't get any real displacement to the upside. And this is initially my draw, which the draw is correct. It's just kind of just took us some time to get to that point. And then you just kind of have more trades here, right? Just after this high, here is another true manipulation happened on the higher time frame on the 5 minute. Going ahead, looking at the 1 minute to see if we can find an entry. After this true manipulation happened, here is your 1 minute fair value gap. Retrace back into it. And again, you just have a bunch of fair value gaps being respected. So you could have entered off of something like this. After this retracement, stop loss at the true manipulation, and then you have structure, right? You have a bunch of TP options for you to, take your TPs, set your stop loss to break evens, etc. Again, this is why I like to wait for structure in order for me to actually take a trade. And that structure is followed by true manipulation, so it's kind of like a ripple effect, right? It kind of just leeches onto each other one after another. If there's no structure, most likely not, there's not going to be true manipulation. I have to see structure in order for me to see true manipulation happen, so on and so forth. So this actually ends up playing all the way to my draw of liquidity, which is down over here. I mean, technically, I guess you could have held this trade and this probably would have hit. As you can see, yeah, it just would have taken quite some time. But ultimately, that was the draw, and it ends up working. It, I would have liked it for it to work here to maybe catch some runners, but as soon as I kind of just saw this, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just take my 1-to-1. It's perfectly fine. And then yeah, but that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Link in the description below for my Discord. Bunch of great people in there. One of my homies have been well, he's struggled with kind of taking a lot of trades, and I told him, what, just use the 5 minute. If there's no 5 minute structure, there's no 5 minute manipulation or anything, just avoid the trade, right? And so far, I think he's been liking it. I think he's been liking using the 5 minute in order for him to dictate whether he wants to take a trade. He mostly trades off change of the state, but today he actually took this 5 minute continuation here off of this true manipulation of the SMT with ES, which is really, really sick. I love seeing people win, to be honest, especially one of the bros, So hopefully he's been liking it. I've been liking it. It has been treating me nicely. I know some people in the Discord have been liking it as well. Again, you don't have to just lock in with the 05 strategy. Again, everyone has their own different strategy, and everyone kind of takes something away from it and then add it into their own play style, right? It's the way you see your market is the way that's going to be working best for you, right? I see the market in my way. It just so happens that I kind of created my own little strategy where I wait for structure, manipulation, true manipulation on the higher time frame, and then go into the lower time frame to see if I can get some sort of entry. And that's just kind of the way how I see it, right? And preferably, I trade and I kind of just sit on the 5 minute, right? 1 minute manipulation is okay, not the best, but I like to see higher time frame, right? Higher time frame holds higher power, so I like to sit on the 5 minute, right? The 5 minute is more correlated to the higher time frame. The 5 minute is more correlated to the 15 minute and to the hourly. And again, that kind of just ripple effects, right? So if there's true manipulation on the 5 minute, most likely not, that's going to be on the 15 minute as well. But if you're too zoomed in on the 1 minute and you find some sort of like quote unquote true manipulation, and most likely not is going to be false. Again, just because the 1 minute is just too zoomed in, unless you're just scalping. But again, higher time frame, right? It's models within models. If there is a model on the higher time frame and you go into the 5 minute to confirm that model and you see that model is being replicated onto the 5 minute, that is when you drop into the 1 minute to take your entry, right? It's always the higher time frame into the lower time frame. It's never the lower time frame into the higher time frame, right? So if there's a model on the higher time frame, I'm waiting on the 5 minute to confirm if I could find a model inside of this time frame, and then I take my entry on potentially the 5 minute or the 1 minute for an entry, just for to be a little bit more precise with my risk management and stuff. Um, but yeah, overall, really not that bad stuff today. Not that bad stuff throughout the entire week. I mean, blessed, right? I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.